Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Pete Castellano.
Here.
Paul Hodson.
Yep.
Patrick Ireland.
Here.
Ray Ellis.
Here.
Laura Farmer.
I'm here. Okay. Is Finn McKenzie here? Okay. We're going to put a hold on that part until he gets here. All right. Well, tonight is a big night for us here in the township. Two of our officers are being promoted. And, you know, as you can see by the brother and sisterhood that are in the back of the room here supporting these two gentlemen, it speaks volumes for their character and their ability to do the job. And also for each and one of you that came here tonight just to see them and wish them all the best, because we all firmly believe that we do have the best police department around and are so incredibly proud that you're all here tonight. So, Chief, I'm going to ask you to come forward first. We have two bios, which Pete, you've got. So we are going to, we want to go with the lieutenant, or do we want to go with the sergeant first?
Sergeant.
Sergeant.
He said no. Promotion biography of William Burns. William Burns has served with the Egg Harbor Township Police Department since May of 2013. Before that, he began his career with the Borough of Avalon Police Department as a Class II Special Law Enforcement Officer. In 2013, William was assigned to Patrol Squad 2 within the Egg Harbor Township Police Department, where he spent the majority of his career until being assigned to Patrol Squad 4 in 2025. With over a decade of service, William has taken on multiple specialized assignments with the department. William was assigned to the Field Training Unit in 2015. From 2018 to 2023, he served on the Atlantic County SWAT team as an operator and breacher for Alpha Squad. He earned Master Police Officer status in 2018 and earned his Master Police Officer 2 status in 2025. William is also a certified firearms instructor for both handgun and rifle, physical fitness instructor, Glock armorer, taser instructor, and less lethal operator. William graduated from the John Sonny Burke Canine Academy of Atlantic County in March of 2024 with his canine partner Odin, and is a current member of the Egg Harbor Township Police Canine Unit. In 2024, he and Canine Odin were recognized by the Township Mayor and Committee for a narcotics find of approximately 15.7 ounces of heroin. William holds a bachelor's degree in law and justice from Rowan University and a master's degree in administrative sciences from Fairleigh Dickinson University. William has been happily married to Christina for 13 years. They have 2 children together, Billy, 12, and Mackenzie, 9. William devotes the majority of his spare time to coaching youth sports and being with his family. He would not be where he is today without the love and support of his family. Congratulations.
Would you want it at a time?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Sergeant, would you like to do your family up?
Hey, Billy, little Billy look like a cop already. Hey, I get an extended warranty. I'm going to swear you in. Open your Bible.
Right hand on the
He look like a cop.
Raise your
Both
right
of
hand. I should see left hand. Okay.
them. There you go. Good job.
And then when we're done, you're going to hand him. I state your name.
I, William Burns,
Do solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties
perform all the duties
of Sergeant of the Police Department
of Sergeant of the Police Department
to the best of my ability.
to best of my ability.
I do further solemnly swear
Further solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the same and to the government established
to the government established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state
and in the state
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Hey, you know, Billy, I bet you 10 push-ups, you're going to be a police officer. So I will see you 15 years from now. Yeah, 9 years. Oh, he's 9. We're going to raise it.
Chief, want to say anything?
Well, Mayor, my remarks are for both.
You want to skip to
combined.
the end?
Yes.
Okay.
So,
All
but
right.
congratulations, Sergeant Burns.
Sergeant Burns, you want to just... Okay. Lieutenant, wait, please, come on down.
Richard Philip Boyd. 2003, appointed as a Class II Special Law Enforcement Officer with the City of Wildwood. 2007, appointed as a police officer with the Egg Harbor Township Police Department. 2013, assigned to the Criminal Investigation Bureau as a detective. 2022, promoted to the rank of sergeant and assigned to the Criminal Investigation Bureau as a detective sergeant. And today, promoted to the rank of lieutenant and assigned to the Operations Bureau. Richard is married to Carly, and they have 2 children, Richard 11 and Aurora 9. He earned a Master of Science degree in Homeland Security and a graduate certificate in Emergency Management from Thomas Edison State University. He is a graduate of the New Jersey State Association of Chiefs of Police Command and Leadership Academy. Richard's specialized training includes Class Number 51 of the Top Gun Gang and Drug Program and Class Number 112 of the New Jersey State Police Crime Scene Investigators course. In 2019, he was designated as a Field Intelligence Officer with the New Jersey State Police. He was appointed as a Special State Investigator by the New Jersey Office of the Attorney General in both 2015 and 2017. In 2021, he was assigned to the Atlantic County Prosecutor's Office Major Crimes Unit. He served the police department in numerous administrative roles. Richard is the department coordinator for property and evidence, municipal counterterrorism, combined DNA index system, automated license plate readers, law enforcement notification system, backtrace, sexual assault forensic examination kits, electronic surveillance, gang and intelligence unit, and the violent crime apprehension program. He previously served as the liaison to the Atlantic County Prosecutor's Office and the Egg Harbor Township School District. Throughout his career, Richard has been recognized with numerous awards and commendations, including the Triumphant Award, Drug Buster Award, Exceptional Service Award, Honorable Service Award, Life Saving Award, and Distinguished Volunteer Service Cross. He recently earned the FDI LEEDA Trilogy Award after completing the Supervisor Leadership, Command Leadership, and Executive Leadership programs. Richard is involved in numerous community-based programs, including Adopt a Cop, Read Across America, and Shop with a Cop. He served for nearly 10 years as an assistant and lead advisor with the Egg Harbor Township Police Explorer Post number 94. Since 2021, Richard has served as the executive leader of both Cub Scout Pack number 94 and Scout Troop number 94 of Egg Harbor Township And before all that, Richard played in the drum line. And I had the privilege of being his drum instructor. Congratulations, Rich.
Would Richard's family like to come up here and
Uh-oh, here comes another little cop. That's your fire push-up. He's going to be one.
Please raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all the duties of Lieutenant of Police Department to the best of my ability. I do further solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same and to the government established in the United States and in this state under the authority of the people. So help me God. Congratulations. Chief, before you start, we need to do one thing that is critically important. We need to make it official. So we have Resolution 312 authorizing these two promotions. Can I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Okay.
Roll call, please.
Castellano,
Yes.
Watson,
Yeah, absolutely.
Ireland,
Yes.
Ellis,
Yes.
Absolutely, yes.
Does that mean Burns got demoted already?
Yes.
Nope, so they could all, if he could come back up.
Hey, Chief, when I was police in Lansing, I met him. I used to tease him about coming over there. I tried to get him. Remember that? When he first came on, I wanted him to come on Lansing, do undercover work.
Kenneth, did we get a family picture? Did you get a family picture? Did you get the family picture? Yeah.
Yeah, well, we had real cars, not horse and buggy.
One thing you know, you can't do this job without the support of your family. All right,
Well, if you recognize his father's a retired police officer here. Richard's father is here. Well, I don't want to embarrass you, but you're probably the reason he's a police officer today because of you. Retired from the Township, Rich Foot, or from the Acre Township.
and this is Lieutenant's father.
Yep.
Follow in the footsteps. Chief,
All right.
it's all yours.
Township Committee, thank you once again for filling our ranks as they should be in order to provide effective supervision. But before I begin, I'll be remiss. I want to recognize some VIPs in the courtroom. We have Detective Sidney Terrell, retired, in the back. Behind me. And behind me is retired Sergeant Al Mariano. And as you mentioned, we have retired Sergeant Rich Voigt, which probably led to Richard's. Am I missing anyone else? I don't think so. McPherson, you're back on the job, so you don't count. All right. Well, my remarks are pretty simple. Like with any promotional process, it's a highly competitive and stressful, and not just for those testing, but for their family members too, as many sacrifices are made. There were 14 police officer candidates who tested for sergeant. Can you hear me? Is that what we're going through? All right, so there were 14 police officer candidates who tested for sergeant. Bill Burns ranked number 1. There were 11 sergeants who tested for lieutenant. Rich Voigt ranked number 1. It's not that simple, though. We recently overhauled our promotional process, and there were many steps involved in the selection process. It wasn't just about taking tests and scoring well. Candidate had to show proof of past accomplishments and how they impacted the agency and community. Sergeant Burns and Lieutenant Voigt did just that by being before us today. While we are here to recognize them, as they are certainly deserving of it, members of the examination committee thank every candidate that chose to compete in this process. We know disappointment results from it for some, and I can just say, rise above it, be resilient, and become stronger for it. And I do have to recognize, because I think it shows class, it shows professionalism, tact. There are some candidates who attended here, and the ones I saw were Keeping, Fair, Stearns, O'Hagan, Hahn, Razat. Did I miss any others? Please. Oh, Janetta, Coons. So I think it says a lot about our organization. I think it says a lot about our people. They're here to celebrate their peers, the people that they competed with, and that's a lot of respect. We thank you. Oh, I forgot. I'm going off the course here. All right, so I'm going to read some statements from their promotional packets that they submitted. So for Sergeant Burns, these are quotes: remain committed to professionalism, leadership, and service to both community and the department. Considers himself a role model. Identifies as a strong leader, dedicated team player, motivated not only to serve the police department, but also to give back to the community. In summary, or in his conclusion, his quote: becoming a frontline supervisor comes with authority. However, to become an exceptional frontline supervisor, one must also be a leader. I believe people respond more positively to leadership than authority alone, which is why I'm confident that I would be an asset to the police department in the position of police sergeant. In his accomplishments section, he discussed how in the FTO program, he played a significant role in shaping the careers of new police officers. That's important. I'll come back to that one. Closing. Sergeant Burns, he will remain committed to the agency's core principles of partnership, respect, integrity, dedication, and empowerment. Given the opportunity to earn the rank of sergeant, he will continue to exemplify these principles while serving the Egg Harbor Township Police Department. Lieutenant Voigt, this is his quote: I've consistently demonstrated professionalism, sound judgment, leadership, and accountability while accomplishing agency goals and objectives. I have supervised personnel during challenging assignments, embraced a team-oriented approach, and remained committed to assisting officers in their professional development. That's important. There's a theme there. I have developed a reputation for being dependable, organized, and capable of efficiently managing both administrative responsibilities and operational demands. I remain fully committed to the mission and values of this agency and to providing the highest level of service to the department, its officers, and the community we serve. So you have this in writing, and that's going to be expected from you. Just So Bill and Rich, while you're being promoted tonight, you're also being awarded, not accepting, you're being awarded greater level of responsibility, not only for our agency, but for law enforcement in general. Leadership and supervision are not about following the status quo, or being laissez-faire, or putting blinders on, or being on cruise control, especially for those issues that may be outside your comfort zone. The commendable behavior of those under your command or supervision, it's the easy stuff. It's the little things like minor policy violations, low quality of work, lack of inspections, follow-up, tactical concerns that must be addressed at your level. When leadership ignores these things, larger problems start to fester and simmer below the surface. Mediocre work or performance must be addressed, or otherwise, as a whole, we become mediocre. Promote and expect excellence. Will you excuse or make excuses for subpar work, product, or performance, or will you do something about it? This awarded responsibility is for you to do something about it and not pass or deflect it to someone else, or for someone else to recognize it before you do, or should. I challenge you both to make tough decisions and choices when needed. Be aware and attentive to the people under your areas of responsibility. They deserve it. Like I mentioned, it's easy to celebrate heroic or exceptional work. It's not so easy to have difficult conversations when they are needed. Consider this analogy. It's finance related. Buying low and selling high is an easy and ideal concept that results in favorable returns, either short-term or long-term. Equate this to complementary conduct or performance by those under your command. That's easy. What about buying high? Not so easy. When looking long-term, it may be more beneficial when considering long-term growth. So, while it might be uncomfortable and unsettling to buy high, the long-term return on the investment is desirable. I challenge you both to lead and supervise by doing the uncomfortable. Identify deficiencies, correct them, so those under your command will have long-term growth, retiring good standing with no hiccups in between. What do I mean by hiccups? An officer being embroiled in a lawsuit, facing criminal charges, facing job loss, major discipline, or far worse. How did it get to that point? Did you as the supervisor invest in them early on to prevent these hiccups? You both earned your stripes and your bars. Remember that you attested in your promotional material that you submitted, which I read earlier. You are considered change agents for the future of our personnel, our agency, the law enforcement profession, and the community we serve. Just as everyone at any point in their careers plays an important part in organizational culture and morale, it is elevated even more so for you both. Don't take it for granted. Go make it better for all of us as you assume your new supervisor and leadership roles for our agency. And my expectations from the beginning, I repeat these a lot, try to embed them in our people here. They're pretty simple. This was a question that came up on the promotional exam. Do you know it? Do the little things right. Provide high quality of work. Always work to improve the law enforcement image. And I congratulate you both. We're looking for good and exciting things and good, strong leadership. Congratulations.
Chief, before they go, this is something I've always wanted to do. Would all the law enforcement, whether they're working in the office, whether they are retired or currently on the job, come on up and we can take one big picture of them all here. Come on in the back. I'm looking at you guys back there. Come on. Come on. Those guys over there. I see. Come on down, guys. They don't want to see, but I get them. You got it. Good. Here These two are
Hopefully it plays well.
You're staying when you're done. Front and center. Come on in, guys. Bunch up. I know you like it, so that's why you're here. Come on, guys. Come on. That's why. Come on in the front.
Tommy TJ.
Hey, man,
Good things come in small packages. All right, everybody in? Tell him, come on. Drown. Everybody here? Al. Al. I see you. We got one more coming.
He's coming now.
He's coming. I hope they can.
Cheeseburger.
All right.
All right.
Did you
get it, Bill?
Uh-oh. They don't keep for his birthday party.
They can. Boy, you can see him lifting no weights there. He's got a little muscle there. Unless a beast on him.
I have to get the camera well.
I know.
You sure?
Or was I?
All right. Thank you all. Captain Bergen, you can stay.
There's that person in here.
All right.
Good luck to the school board. Give it hell.
All right. But before we leave the police department,
Give it hell.
we have Captain Bergen, who has been with us for 25 years. Mike Cometary and Tim Colella are also 25 years, but they are not here tonight. But we are so incredibly proud of you and everything that you've done.
Wow.
Mr. Ireland is going to read a proclamation.
Here we go.
And let's go down.
All right, I'll start.
I thought you were 25 years old.
So this is Captain Bergen's bio. So Sherry Bergen has been with the Egg Harbor Township Police Department since August of 2001. She served in patrol traffic safety unit as a school resource officer and in the criminal investigation division as a detective before being promoted to a supervisory role. In May of 2013, Bergen was promoted to sergeant and was assigned to patrol before leading the traffic safety unit, where she worked closely with traffic engineers, contractors, and municipal administration. She then served as a detective sergeant, working with federal agencies overseeing narcotics investigations and acting as an EHT school liaison. In January of 2019, she was promoted to lieutenant and was assigned to the patrol for the next 4 years, where she worked as a shift commander for several squads. In 2022, she moved to the Office of Personal Responsibility as the Internal Affairs Lieutenant. In May 2023, Bergen was promoted to captain. She initially commanded the Detective Bureau before transferring to her current role in operations. She oversees the Uniform Patrol Division, which includes the K-9 unit, the SWAT, and the Traffic Safety Unit. Bergen has been to many different trainings throughout her tenure here at the PD. She holds a master's degree in administrative science from Fairleigh Dickinson University, certified public manager certificate from Rutgers University, CPM program, and is a graduate of the 280th session of the FBI National Academy, where she has also earned a graduate certificate from the University of Virginia upon completion. She is also recognized accredited command executive through the NJSA COP in 2024. She was invited and spoke at a panel at the International Association of Chiefs of Police conference in Boston, Massachusetts. Bergen has been married to her husband, Ray, for 19 years, Chief Ray. Together, they have 2 teenage children, a daughter, Hazel, and son, Vaughn. They reside in Egg Harbor Township, New Jersey, and attend Landmark Church in Ocean City. As a lifelong resident, she considers it an honor to serve the residents here in EH2. Congratulations.
It is our honor to present you this plaque for 25 years of service. We don't expect 25 more. 25 years is a good number in the police department, from what I understand. So, congratulations and thank you. So, and while you do this, your family's here. Your lovely mother is here. Your grandmother, your aunts. There's one over there and one over here. There, where's your husband? Is there he is. You guys want to all come forward? Come on forward. Hazel, we going to Stockton? And I'm almost Stockton, so we'll go to Stockton University.
This is off the cuff. Can I photobomb this?
Can I just, before you move on, can I just recognize and present two things to two of our VIPs that came here today?
Sure.
So Detective Retired Sidney Terrell and Retired Sergeant Voight, if you could come up. So, like I said, this is the easy stuff. This is the,
I thought you were just here to stand in the back.
When I started with, I mean, they were all guys when I came in. So,
It must be with Paul.
we were like Crockett and Tubbs. So anyway, so if whether you know it or not, the Egg Harbor Township Police Department has challenge coins. The challenge coins, the first batch we received, were numbered, every number to signify our badge. And so for those that are retired, you still have a pot of them to hand out. And since you were here, I thought it would be appropriate to present your Egg Harbor Township Police challenge coins, badge 98, Delta 98, which bears the township patch and the township seal on each side. So I present this to Detective Terrell and also to Sergeant Voight. Badge. Man, see, I'm getting old. 42.
Congrats.
For the team.
That's it. Very good. This is my last call for Finn. Is Finn here? Finn is here. Oh, not that Finn.
It's a 9-year-old.
It's a 9-year-old.
You want to come get it? Just like, all right.
Let's move it to next month.
That's it. We'll move it to next month. All right. If you're here for the police promotions and you don't feel like hanging out, this will be your time to leave. But you're more than welcome to stay. But you can leave.
Not so fast. Wow.
Oh, thank you.
Hey, little boy.
Which one, the little girl?
You want to be a police?
She might. I bet you can.
Hey, look. couldn't you
I'm
face
going
more?
for her.
If Daddy's in your like, since it's little one, protect
Does anybody play the drums?
So that's a sign. That means you got to be
scared.
Oh, that's
Does he play the drums? Does he play drums?
Mommy's here to take drum shower.
Okay.
We'll get there.
All right. Okay.
All right, before we start into the ordinances, we have Dr. Mark Kadetsky is here. Dr. Kadetsky, you wanted to say something? I'm going to have you do it now.
Name and address?
Just your name and what you do.
Oh, my name is Mark Tedeschi. I'm here for both for two musical events that are coming up. I'll let these guys get out
Yeah.
first, and then I'll do my classroom. Be like, I'll wait. Yeah.
Okay. We're getting there.
police department came strong.
We're gonna put the clock on her. I'm getting out here today.
That's right. I'm just here with the to just let you know about two community music events that are coming, and we wanted to give you guys the opportunity to get there and give you also good notice because I know all of our Google calendars are get pretty filled up quickly. September 5th at 6 p.m. We would love to have you come out to the football stadium. September 5th, 6 p.m. The marching band. This year's marching band is probably one of the biggest ones we've had in a long time. And they're doing a great job. So they're doing what's called a preview show. And what they do is they do like a demonstration and a performance for everybody a week ahead of their first football game or their first competition. It's a nice public event. And you get to mingle with them a little bit and actually get to speak to the children and the parents while they're there. So they're not here inviting you tonight. They're going to go to the school board next week. They're actually still practicing. They practice 12 to 9 all week. So they're working very hard. And
12 to 9.
12 to 9, yeah. It's quite a shift. And
How many kids are in band this year?
I think they're tipping close to 100 this year. And we just, for the first time since Pete and I were with the band decades ago, they're getting new uniforms this year as well. So we're really excited about that, the new look. And the second event, I'm glad it's our second annual. Now that we're doing it consecutively, it's our second annual. Very proud to be doing our Veterans Day ceremony again. We're doing it the Veterans Day Eve. Night before so that everybody gets a chance to enjoy going out when there's no work the next day. 7 p.m. at the community center, and it's a fantastic collaboration. I recognize most of you there from last time, where we have area veterans MC the Pops concert. We have speakers, and then the music is all centered around celebrating the country's 250th birthday, and obviously the sacrifices and work and accomplishments of our veterans. And last year was a great turnout, and we planned last year on 3 months. So this year we've had. Since November 12th of last year, we've been planning on this. We are very excited. So would love to see you out there. And I'm sure that I will. But I just want to formally make that announcement. And the social media posts will start going out as well, advertising.
Can I ask, is it still a secret until the 5th, what the theme is this year?
Oh, for the marching band?
If you can't say, that's
no,
fine.
it's like a
We'll be
jazz.
there.
It's a jazz show called That's a Stretch, and there's a lot of it's changed a lot since I was the band director. There's electronics and AI and sound technology have found their way into the competitive marching band scene. But they are, I'm really happy. They call it a large marching band. I call it job security, but we are the largest. We're the largest. You got to go a lot of miles to find a marching band that's bigger than ours. So we're really proud of them, and it's a new direction for them to actually take the popularity of jazz with our jazz program at the high school, and they're putting it on the field through a marching band lens. So I think you'll like it. Thank you. Enjoy the night. I'll see you on the 5th, and I'll see you again on the 10th of November.
Perfect.
Right.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. Okay. Moving forward, we're going to go back to the ordinances and public hearings. Mr. Friedman, ordinance 16.
Thank you, Mayor. Ordinance 16 is an ordinance for the exchange of township-owned property being Block 2903, Lot 13, with the South Jersey Gas Company conveying real property being Block 2903, Lots 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, commonly known as 6009 West Jersey Avenue, otherwise known as Lot 6, and 101, 103, 105, 107 on Cates Road, also known as a lot 7, 8, 9, 10, as shown on the official tax map. The purpose of this ordinance is to authorize a land exchange between Egg Harbor Township and South Jersey Gas Company pursuant to New Jersey statutes 40A:12-16. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Is there anybody in the audience who would like to discuss ordinance number 16? Seeing none, can I have a motion to close the public portion?
Make a motion. Second.
Roll call, please.
Castellano,
Yes.
Hodson,
Yes.
Ireland,
Yes.
Ellis, Farmer.
Yes. Can I have a motion to adopt ordinance number 16?
Make a motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Castellano,
Yes.
Hodson,
Yes.
Ireland,
Yes.
Ellis, Farmer.
Yes. Ordinance 17, Mr. Friedman.
Ordinance 17 is an ordinance authorizing and providing for the appropriation of $1.8 million from the capital improvement account for the facility improvements and upgrades at the Egg Harbor Township Community Center. The purpose of this ordinance is to authorize the appropriation of $1.8 million from the capital improvement account for the Egg Harbor Township Community Center improvements and upgrades. Thank you.
Is there anybody in the public that would like to speak on ordinance number 17?
Thank you. My name is Mike Bryce, 200 East Plaza Place, West Atlantic City. How's everybody tonight?
We're good.
Great. I just saw this ordinance that came up tonight. I didn't really have a chance to go through the packet. Can you explain a little bit more about this?
Well, I tell you, Mr. Price, I am going to, in 1 minute, let John explain the whole thing to you and break it down as to what's in it.
Well, that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, that's what he'll give you.
Yes, so it's $1,800,000. Was there any grant money applied to this, or is this all going to be through local tax?
This is actually through money that from the sale of a cell tower, so there'll be no tax effect from this.
So the proceeds from the sale of a cell tower,
Part of the sale of the cell tower.
and he'll break that all down.
And that's all going to be used. So there'll be no effect on the tax rate because of this. We sold something and we're using it for
So you
that.
sold the cell tower, and you're going to put the money towards the improvements.
Yes, it's been sitting in surplus.
Where's the cell tower? Is it here? Or?
It's over by Golf Avenue, by the McCall's Golf Course, across the street.
Oh, that big one across the street? Okay. All right. Well, that's my question,
You'll hear,
and I'll be looking forward to hearing the presentation.
unless anybody else would like to speak on ordinance 17.
Thank you.
If not, can I have a motion to close the public portion?
I'll make a motion.
Roll call.
Castellano,
Yes.
Hodson,
Yes.
Ireland,
Yes.
Ellis,
Yes.
Farmer.
Yes. Mr. Hitchens.
Evening Township Committee. The $1.8 million of funding, which is going into this project, originates from the sale of a township-owned cell phone tower totaling $3.4 million. That influx was placed into surplus in 2025, and during the budget writing process, we intentionally tried to utilize that funding in such a way that would benefit all the residents of Egg Harbor Township the most. 1.8 million has been set aside for renovations at the Recreation Center. These renovations are geared towards improving the quality of life for the seniors, which frequently use the center. The senior activities, which are done through the county, take place in the multipurpose room. We are also looking to improve security because a lot of children are out at the recreation center, and we want to do everything that we can do to make sure that they have a safe environment to go out there and go to camp and do their youth activities. There will also be quality of life improvements for all residents who actively go out to the center. We are also preparing this center in case of a disaster so that the township is ready to take on the unknown that might come our way if certain worst case scenarios might happen. Hurricane Sandy.
Yeah, Hurricane Sandy. That was the staging and sleeping area for quite a few people.
The goal would be to make building improvements to the point where we are fully prepared to handle the first 48 hours after some type of disaster until the Red Cross would be able to come in and take over the process. Upgrades include a generator which is capable of powering the entirety of the community center. This is very important if we plan on using it as a staging area for OEM purposes. We are going to be making improvements to the internet connection. We will be running a new fiber optic line, and we are currently shopping around for the best options in terms of internet service being provided. So as we are using the building more intensely, we will need a larger volume of upload and download speeds, all of which will benefit the residents who are in there.
Well, I think we all know, anyone that's been out there, your cell phones don't work out there.
Your cell phone does not work in the building.
So this is the main thing that we're remedying for the daily use out there. Yeah, it's massive.
Very high on the list in terms of quality of life improvements that we're trying to bring to the residents with the proceeds from the cell phone tower. We will be looking to upgrade the landline system of telephones. We will be using that property as a redundancy for town hall. So most telephone systems in today's world have moved to a voice over IP. It's actually through the internet, which also pushes the upgrade in the connectivity for the building. The telephone system, should it go down here at town hall, would have the hardware necessary at the rec center to continue to make all operations functional for all township employees, so that if we had some type of issue at this building, it would quickly shift over to that one and we would be up and running instantly. We were looking at doing certain security upgrades. I don't want to get into too many of the details, but one of them involved the fire alarms and the fire doors. And the fire doors, due to the fire code, are required to stay closed. And while this is a very minor inconvenience, it is an important safety issue. And we are looking to make those doors onto magnetic locks, which are tied to the fire alarm system, so that all of those fire doors may be left open for the ease of the residents and everybody using the building. And then if the fire alarm were to go off, the doors would close automatically. And this meets the standards in the fire code, and this process was overseen by our fire official during discussions. We're looking to move to a key fob system because key fobs are significantly better for security. If you make keys and give them out, we can't always get all those keys back for one reason or another. But if there was an issue and the building is on key fobs, we can turn a key fob off today and it's no longer a concern. And particularly at the rec center, this will be very useful because we have a lot of part-time employees, we have a lot of teachers, we have a lot of summer staff, and being able to manage all that without physical keys would be a huge improvement for everybody who works out there. Cell phones. We will be investing a large investment into an antenna system, which will allow all cell phone carriers to get good reception inside of the building. This is very important. This antenna will also be useful in increasing the CB radios for all of our first responders, because we also need those to work in the building. And both of those will be addressed with a new bidirectional antenna system, which will be installed out at the Recreation Center. We will also be making large improvements to the Wi-Fi in the building, which circles back to the increased connectivity. We're looking to buy various pieces of hardware and spread them throughout the building in order to make sure that everybody has access to Wi-Fi. We will also be looking to do window tint and certain parking lot improvements, particularly for the seniors and those with ADA needs. And we will be looking to upgrade the meeting room into an employee training room so that we can utilize it for educational purposes. And this training room would also be available to different nonprofits and entities within the township. They could do a use of facilities request through the recreation department and utilize the training area. That's all I have for today, Mayor.
And just you also, unless I missed the very beginning, so the police substation?
We also, I'm treating it like two separate projects. The police substation will also be out there, and it will also be a communications redundancy area. We will have everything we need in order to do dispatch and PD out of that particular building. And if anything were to happen to our facilities on this particular property, we would instantly be able to move there, and everything will be hooked up and ready to go and staged.
Very much needed.
Very good.
Very
We need the
much.
generator for years out there when it has to be used for emergencies. And if we're out of power, it's no good, that building.
Does anybody have any questions regarding the project?
When's it starting?
So 20 days after the ordinance has second reading, the funding will be released. We are currently going out to bid. Various departments are handling different areas of the project. And as the bids are coming back and the 20-day estoppel period concludes, I expect the POs to be filled out, and we should be breaking ground on some of these things in the fall, early fall.
What effect would that have on the kids using the facility?
Well, first and foremost, Wi-Fi is going to definitely improve all of their
I
lives.
don't mean Wi-Fi. I mean construction as far as using the facility.
I do not see there being any need to shut down or impact any of the current programs that are out there. There may be incidences where parking lots are more limited for intermediate period of time, but I do not foresee this really impacting any day-to-day programming.
It was well needed out there. I mean, there's, at peak season, there's over 1,000 people in and out of there every day.
If you go over there during the daytime right now, they're running all of their summer camps, and it is a happy place with lots of giggles. And everybody enjoys it, and it's one of the gems of living in Egg Harbor Township. And I think that this is a wonderful use of the proceeds of a cell phone tower that all taxpayers should be able to appreciate.
Well, and it's also the host of the Atlantic County Senior Services programs that are out there that are run Monday through Friday. So that's good. Good.
Thank you.
I've been waiting for this for a couple of years, so this is good. All right. So now that we had a little discussion on it, can I have a motion to adopt ordinance 17?
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Yes.
Yes, this is a lot of good improvements for a building that we have in this township and nobody else has in the area. And we lived through Sandy. We managed it through COVID. And we need to do the upgrades. God forbid if we have a big emergency, this building or a fire or rescue has to relocate. It's a good use of the money that we got rid of that tower. It was going to be a problem down the road. So, a yes.
Harlan?
Yes, Paul just took everything I was going to say.
I'm voting yes. This is something we've talked about for quite a few years, and we were waiting till we had the funding for it. So I thank you all for the hard work, and please let Steve and the IT department know how much we appreciate all their hard work on this. Public Works. Everybody.
The credit is also due to the
They did, yeah. That's very good. I didn't think of that. Very good. Thank you. We're good on that one, James? Very good. All right. Let's move on to ordinance introduction. Ordinance 18, Mr. Friedman.
Thank you, Mayor. Ordinance 18 is an ordinance providing for the acceptance of a donation from Kids LLC and the preparation of deed conveying real property being up block 1702, lots 89 and 88 on the official tax map of the Township of Egg Harbor, County of Lancaster, State of New Jersey. The purpose of this ordinance is to authorize the township's acceptance of a donated parcel identified as block 1702, lots 88 and 89 by deed, and to authorize the recording of that conveyance. A public hearing on ordinance 18 of 2026 will be held on Wednesday, September 2nd, 2026 at 5 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you. Can I have a motion for introduction, please?
So moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Castellano.
Yes.
Hodgson.
Yes.
Ireland.
Yes.
Ellis. Farmer.
Yes. Ordinance 19 for
Ordinance
introduction.
19 is an ordinance providing for the acceptance of a donation by deed from a Janet James Marjorie Duggan, conveying real property being block 3901, lots 3 and 4 on the official tax state of New Jersey. Again, the purpose of this ordinance is to authorize the township's acceptance of a donated parcel identified as 3901, lots 3 and 4 by deed, and to authorize the recording of the conveyance. A public hearing on ordinance 19 of 2026 will be held on Wednesday, September 2nd, 2026 at 5 p.m. Thank you.
Have a motion to introduce ordinance number 19.
So moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Castellano.
Yes.
Hodgson.
Yes.
Ireland.
Yes.
Ellis.
Yes.
Farmer.
Yes. Ordinance 20, Mr. Friedman.
Ordinance 20 is an ordinance authorizing the private sale of township-owned real property known as Block 8405, Lot 12, commonly known as Belinka Avenue, to the highest bidder from the contiguous property owners pursuant to NJSA 48:12-13. The purpose of this ordinance is to authorize the private sale of township-owned property known as Block 8405, Lot 12, on Belinka Avenue to the highest bidder from amongst the contiguous property owners. A public hearing on ordinance 20 of 2026 will be held on Wednesday, September 2nd, 2026 at 5 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you. Can I have a motion to introduce ordinance number 20?
So moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Castellano.
Yes.
Hodgson.
Yes.
Ireland.
Yes.
Ellis. Farmer.
Yes. Ordinance 21, Mr. Friedman.
Ordinance 21 is an ordinance to amend the code of the Township of Egg Harbor, Chapter 165, entitled Parks and Recreation Areas, by deleting subsection 165(5)(u) and amending Chapter 6 of Article 21, entitled Environmental Commission, by adding a new Section 6-141C powers to transfer oversight responsibilities to the Township of Egg Harbor, for the Township of Egg Harbor Nature Reserve to the Environmental Commission. The purpose of this ordinance is to amend Chapters 6 and 165 of the Township Code to transfer municipal oversight of the Egg Harbor Township Nature Reserve to the Environmental Commission, while retaining the permitting administration with the Department of Parks and Recreation. A public hearing on ordinance 21 of 2026 will be held on Wednesday, September 2nd, 2026 at 5 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you. Can I have a second, please?
Second.
Roll call?
Yes.
Yes.
Ireland.
Yes.
Ellis. Farmer.
Yes. Ordinance 22, Mr. Friedman.
Ordinance 22 is an ordinance amending Chapter 1 of the Code of the Township of Egg Harbor entitled General Provisions to add Article 3, Official Municipal Insignia. The purpose of this ordinance is to establish regulations governing the authorized use of the Township's official seal and municipal logo. A public hearing on ordinance 22 of 2026 will be held on Wednesday, September 2nd, 2026 at 5 p.m. Thank you.
Can I have a motion to introduce ordinance 22?
Motion.
Roll call, please.
Castellano.
Yes.
Hodgson.
Yes.
Ireland.
Yes.
Ellis. Farmer.
Yes. Ordinance 23, Mr. Friedman.
Ordinance 23 is an ordinance amending Chapter 225 entitled Zoning of the Code of Township of Egg Harbor to add regulations for battery energy storage systems and to amend prohibited uses. The purpose of this ordinance is to amend Chapter 225 of the Township Code to establish regulations for the battery energy storage systems, otherwise known as BESS, in the Township. A public hearing on ordinance 23 of 2026 will be held on Wednesday, September 16, 2026 at 5 p.m.
I have a motion to introduce ordinance 23.
Make a motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Bonner,
Yes.
Yes.
Ireland,
Yes.
Lewis, Farmer.
Yes, and we mentioned in work session, having a special meeting on this coming up in September,
Yes, that's why we pushed that out to the 16th. We're going to try to have it between the 2nd and the 16th.
which is good. It's for public information, so we get a better handle on it. I think it's separate for data system, but it's our data center, but it's we want to clarify what it, but also we don't have any right now, any rules in our.
Correct.
It's out there in the media. All other states dealing with this battery system to try to make sure our utilities are up to speed. The problem I have is we got to do something because you can't just put it in residential neighborhoods. Okay, people want to hear that buzz, and we went through it with the power station on English Creek Avenue with Lake Electric, and we got to make sure if they go in, they're not going to impact our community.
All right. That's it. We're moving on to our resolution and consent calendar. Resolution 313 through and including
Mayor,
351.
may I make a request? Because I believe we have members of the public who'd like to speak on Resolution 313. Could we possibly separate it from the consent calendar?
I don't see a problem with that. Well, we're going to do 313 first, since it's first. So we're going to go right into it.
Mayor, may I?
Yes.
My apologies. I forgot in work session with regards to that resolution. There's 2 words, minimum minor changes that I forgot that we got to change this as amended when you go to adopt it. And the second whereas clause, excuse me, I had a fog over. Towards the last sentence, it says an area in need of rehabilitation. That should be redevelopment. It was taken from ordinance, the resolution 247 from 2021. That's redevelopment in that, and it was just transposed wrong in this resolution, as well as the 7th whereas, the same thing, same words. And just those 2 minor from rehab to redevelopment when you go to take a vote on it. Say it as amended. My apologies about that.
Now, what we're going to do in the public session, Pete, I think we've discussed this in regards to whether people like or don't like the program, but we're going to limit it to what this is, which is basically, I think, Tom, you brought this up during work session. This is just the redevelopers agreement. And so we're going to keep the comments focused just on that. So, and, we'll just mention. Do you want to speak? Sure. Come on down. Just your name for the record, but stay just on the topic for this, please.
Anthony Calendrillo, 530 Drive. Specific to this resolution, has there been an impact study done by the developer or by the committee to determine the impact on the infrastructure, traffic, and so on?
I understand it has, because it's gone up to the Pinelands. So all of this it's been vetted out. It's been vetted out over 5 years. So there's been multiple public meetings on this.
So the last time I was here, I asked if there was an impact study based on the number of units to be developed or in process, that the Board of Ed received any of those reports. And I spoke to a few Board of Ed members, and they said they hadn't received anything yet.
What reports are you talking about?
Excuse me?
What reports are you looking for?
You mentioned that the last time I was here that you had done a number of studies to determine the impact. And then the Board of Ed would be affected by the number of students that might come their way. Usually a demographic report
This
would
development has been, every meeting we've had with the schools for the last 3 or 4 years, this development has been on the list.
So they've received impact
So they
reports?
they have. The
Impact
impact
reports.
that we can only tell the schools is X amount of properties are going in. And there's a formula for students.
Right.
And they can multiply out the formula and say what the maximum, that's the effect on the schools in that sense.
And the board received those reports?
The board's been told about this development, and they basically are told what it is, what's going in there. They're told that.
I understand what you're saying, but specifically, were they given the reports?
No, I would, this is, we're not talking about that. This is a whole different thing. This is a redevelopment agreement.
Right.
That's all we're talking about tonight.
Right.
The reports to the school, we've been giving the school when a new development pops up, we give the schools the information. We give it to the superintendent. We have a meeting with her. We've had quite a few meetings with them.
I've asked a few board members, and they said they haven't received it. That's why I'm asking.
Well, I don't give things to the school board. I give them to the administration. That's who we give things to. So I would say you take your suggestions to them.
Well,
okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Mr. Parrish. Just your name for the record, please. We know you live here.
James Parrish, Urban Township. I just have a few questions about this project.
All right. This is the only comments we're taking now is on the redevelopers agreement.
Right.
Okay. So
Yeah.
stick in that. We'll make it a little loose, but keep it tight. Okay.
My question is, has there been any consideration as to where the tremendous amount of construction debris will wind up from a project of this size?
Yes.
I'm assuming it will go to the Atlantic County landfill.
Well, there's a lot of things there. There's a lot of trees, and there's a lot of mulch, and that will get distributed in different areas. I'm going to tell you, once it gets rolling, we'll find out. I'm on the board of the ACUA.
I know you are.
So trust me, I'm always concerned about what comes in there. Because what goes there affects all of us.
Absolutely.
So.
And we're near capacity.
We are.
And we
doing
are
expansion, so that should help a
building
little
like
bit.
crazy.
We've been building like crazy in this town since when did the casinos pass? 1979?
Absolutely.
We've been building like crazy.
But not like lately.
Oh no, there was a hold for about 10 years. Which is why the building went crazy again.
But not 1,000 a year.
Oh no, we were higher than that.
In any case, our landfill is almost at capacity. So that's one major concern that I'm hoping that you took into account.
We do.
Okay. And where would the electric for all of these new homes come from?
Oh, come on.
I'm assuming Atlantic Electric.
Atlantic Electric. And they do have sufficient power for things like this.
Yes.
A
as
data
you
center
know-
might be a different story. These are residential homes.
As you know, electric is a commodity. Are priced by supply and demand. We're not supplying anymore. The
Sad story.
currently
State of New Jersey, the leadership of this state shut down.
right. So currently, no more is being produced, but more is being demanded, which means we all pay more. So on those several other issues, which every time one of these developments comes up, this room is usually full of people objecting to it. So I would, in closing, I would like to remind all five of you, and especially you three, that you get the opportunity to vote on these things, but in November, the rest of us get the opportunity to vote.
Always every year.
Okay.
But this is a
Thank you.
redevelopment agreement that
I
we're talking about.
understand, but the
And that's
terms
the-
of which
The
are
advantage of the redevelopers agreement
Right.
for all the citizens in this town
Mhm.
are we have control over quite a bit of the things that happen there.
No.
Without that, if a land is a by right application, they're free, a lot freer to do what they would like to do within the law than they are in a redevelopment area. And that's what a redevelopment agreement will do here. We can control an awful lot there. And
But in addition, as I understand it, the number of low-income and moderate-income housing in this particular development was lowered below the state.
no, they have a
percentage.
full requirement on affordable housing on this one.
Affordable housing.
There's 100%. It's 20% set aside.
Okay.
So, and that's
Then I have
important.
that
We have
information.
numbers that we have to hit. And when this
Beautiful.
development came through, we made sure of that.
Okay. Well, thank you for that. And thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Juanita Hyman, DHT resident. And did I hear you make reference to the pilings in regards to this redevelopment agreement? Didn't you say something about the pilings?
Not with the redevelopment agreement, but I mentioned the Pinelands, that this has already gone through Pinelands.
So is this a Pineland regional site? Is this a site of the Pinelands or no? Is this site
in the Pinelands territory? Yes.
The mandated
high growth zones?
It is?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now, with this redevelopment agreement, is there an abatement or pilot attached to this?
No.
No? Okay, that's all I wanted to know. Okay, thank you.
We don't do abatements on things like this.
Okay, all right, just ask.
Anybody else? This is Justice.
Long time.
Greetings, everybody. Good summer. New resident. And sorry, I'm not up to snuff on some of this. I've been out of pocket. Dad had a partially detached retina. So I spent a couple weeks in Ohio. But and so some of these questions are probably not going to necessarily be something that should be shared right now about, but I can ask the question about a developer. Do we get to pick a developer? Let me start with, is this Timber Ridge? Yes. Okay, so we pick the developer? Egg Harbor Township, we get to pick the developer, or am I not following that right? We put an area up for redevelopment. Developers put in an interest. And if one puts in an interest that fits the letter of the law, we pick a developer. Okay? It's not like we have 27 developers coming in saying we want to do this and we spin the wheel and pick one. No, they have to hit criteria, things like that. They have to be able to handle something like this. But do you have any questions on the agreement? I'm curious how it's redevelopment. Aren't there trees there now? There's trees there. So what are we redeveloping?
Redevelopment is
the rehabilitation's coming out, you're saying, of the resolution that's on the top of the page that begins with November. Resolution or N for November.
for the approving resolution. But it's been vacant for
That just threw me for a loop. The because development implies to me there's something there. But maybe you and me can talk about this, because we have yet to connect, largely because I've had some some out of town things. But I don't fully understand this. But I do know that it just seems like not a good fit from my perspective. I work at the tech center. I think it's going to impact our commute every day, because yeah. Well, then let me just say that what the gentleman just brought up about trees and all the debris and stuff. You can bring it to my house, the Oaks. You can bring the Oaks here, and I didn't know that our landfill is full. And is it our landfill or is it Atlantic County's landfill? It's Atlantic County Utilities Authority's landfill. It's Atlantic County's. But it's just that's another thing I don't understand. I really apologize. I haven't looked it up, but it took me by surprise to see this. And I just think that we do have to be cognizant about that as well, because we only have so much dirt. There's only so much land. And the fact that if indeed, and I don't think the Pinelands is even involved in this right now, mandating, it might be because of that affordable housing thing. I'm not sure. Separate issue altogether. What affordable housing is completely separate from the Pinelands mandates. This is an affordable housing then? There is 20% set aside in this for affordable housing. But do you have any questions about the developers agreement? Well, what is the criteria, I guess, for the developer? I know there wasn't a big list, but what kind of criteria do we have for developers that we allow to come here and build? At first, they have to be able to post a bond. And a bonding company will do a financial background check on them to make sure they can get the bond. Is a bond like an insurance policy? Yes. Okay. It really is. And they buy that in the event that they were to hurt somebody or something would be damaged or hurt during the project. Things like that. Well, that's different. That's a different thing. But do the ones that are doing developments close to my house also have to get a bond? Or is it just the people that the township is hiring? This is a project of a certain size needs to have a bond. Certain size, okay.
One last thing. I'm going to take an action to study further our codes, but what little bit of study I did when I was away, I think we'll have a lot of codes that we're not following. And it just makes me sad. I think overall, we have a lot more power than we're exercising. And if I think I probably said this before, collectively, if we stand up to the people that are mandating various things here, it could change because they're drastically changing our quality of life and not in a positive way.
I suggest you reach out to John.
Yeah.
Okay. Now that you're back.
Yep.
Hope your
Thank
dad's
you.
okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
Michael Price, 200 East Plaza
God,
Place.
don't give it
Hello again.
Just give back up attention. There was a reason, there was a law, and
Okay.
just
Hey, Carpenter.
slipped my head
West,
because
scenic West Atlantic City.
it's a beautiful place.
Yes.
Beautiful
With regard
sunset.
to this resolution, just tell us a little bit more, make sure we're all on the same spot, the same page, and the quotation, everything. It's for 260 residential homes mixed in with businesses at this location.
Commercial.
Commercial.
The back will be condominiums, which they change from apartments to owner-owned, that doesn't sound right, owned units, which is, I think,
Owner-occupied.
owner-occupied, yeah. Privately owned condos.
So in other words, you're saying if they're owner-occupied, then you can't, like some places in Florida, you can't rent it out. You have to be there and occupied. Is that what you're saying? Or?
No, I'm not, I'm just saying what's going there now.
Okay.
And that's what you asked. And then
I
on
got
the
you.
other side, there's
I got
going to be a big section of open space that's going to be deed restricted that will never be built on.
Okay. And then when the developer is selected, we have a redeveloper. Who is that? Do we know tonight who it is?
The property's Timber Ridge.
Timber Ridge? That's going to be the redeveloper. And when it's approved, if it's approved tonight, you'll hold money in escrow from the developer, or can they pay into certain
All developers have to pay into the escrow. They have to post bonds. This also has to go through planning one more
I
time.
was just going to say there are more steps to this.
There's
More
another,
approvals that'll be necessary.
oh yeah. This had more bites at the apple.
I got you. But the thing is, so developer, he can, in effect, contribute money into the plan, essentially. In other words,
He's going to. He's going to build it.
right. I just want to make sure that, in other words, if it's going to be through a developer, he can subsidize above and beyond a lot of the infrastructure that we were talking about. Some people were talking about earlier. Is that right? In other words, when a developer develops in the township, there's a certain amount of money earmarked where they break it down, where recreation will get money, and
Impact fees.
Impact fees you're talking about. Impact fees.
I'm sorry,
Impact fees.
impact, right? So that will be coming into account as well.
I think it does, depending on what's in the agreement and everything that's in the agreement. But yeah.
Okay, all right.
And one thing when we redo our master plan, we're going to be talking about more impact fees on any major development that comes in.
Right.
So,
Okay. All right.
All right.
Thank you.
anybody else? Can I have a motion? Can I have a motion? No? Okay. Can I have a motion to close the public portion?
Make a motion.
Second.
All in favor? Roll call.
So I have,
Wait, we got to close the public on this.
okay, yes, motion to close.
All right, all in favor? All in favor? Aye. Okay.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. So on this resolution 313, I'm going to vote no. I would like to ask that we consider holding this, sending it back, going back to the drawing board, and making this a 100% commercial development. And I'll tell you why. This was originally zoned commercial for a long, long time. There is no requirement in the Pinelands laws that you take commercial property and rezone it residential. So these were homes that we were not required by Pinelands to build. Okay, we all want to slow the growth. We're working together on that. When you think about the growth that's happened and the new growth that's coming on board, I like to think of it in terms of there's two buckets, right? So the first is the growth which is required by the Pinelands Commission. They've required a lot of us because we have the largest regional growth area in any municipality anywhere in the state. And we're working on that. We're working together, and I'm going to discuss that a little later on in my report. And of course, there's a portion of new housing always has to be set aside for affordable housing. But there is a second bucket of things, of building that goes on that's kind of within our control to be more proactive. And I would just like to see us work together and work smarter going forward to take a project like this and say, you know what, Pinelands is not requiring us to build these homes. Let's keep this commercial. It's a beautiful site to be commercial. I used to pass by it every day on my way to work. I mean, in the same category is that when you talk about Tacon Farms, which is not even in the Pinelands at all. So there was another one where going forward, I don't think we should build another development like that that's not required. So again, my request is let's put it on hold. Let's go back to the drawing board, and I'll give my report a little bit later on some of the things we're doing to try to slow our required growth.
Quick question. I guess this, I will put this. This was already agreed upon.
This one.
So how can you go backwards and change it?
We can't.
Right.
That's okay.
That's all I need to know.
Well, we haven't entered into an agreement with the
But the
developer, so we can
redevelopment
stop
plan,
it.
we can't stop it like that. And I'm going to, Mr. Friedman, ask you on this one because legally, this area is now zoned something different. Okay? Well, at the time, when this started, the building boom that we are in right now was not there. We needed affordable housing numbers. This was approached, and it was a combination of a lot of things. It's actually a good location for this because there's a bus there for people that don't have cars. It's not in a primary residential neighborhood. We had another project that we turned down. We took a lot of heat out of this room. Probably some of you were here on Ocean Heights Avenue, also a CAFR area. But there were 220 apartment buildings going to go right behind the ball fields. And all of us in Township Committee were dead against that project. That was zoned commercial. They wanted a redevelopment to turn it into residential. And we turned that one down. That was a horrible location for something like that. So this one, the redevelopment plan is already in. The overlay zone is already in. We can't go back and change it. That's done. That was done a few years ago. So going forward, I think every single one of us up here feels the same way. That anything that is zoned commercial will stay commercial. Probably should have in the end, but you know what? Hindsight's always 20/20. And what you do is you make the best of what you have, and it also helps us in a lot of other areas. And at the time, we've had no problem turning developers down. And when they know when they call, that first thing that they say is, "This is a commercial area. We'd like to do residential." It's a no. You're not doing it. So that's where we are today. Everybody can go back and have hindsight. But we're going forward on this. This is a project that's already zoned for this. Legally, we're going to have huge consequences if we don't. So that's what we're doing. So every other development that comes in, depending on where it's at, and there's things, there's zoning terms, which you'll hear if you come to a lot of you have shown up at our planning and zoning boards. You'll learn some of the language that we use there. Things like a by right application is an application where somebody owns property. If they can put 50 homes on there and they're allowed to, they can do it because that's the law. We cannot arbitrarily break the law ever here in town. What we can do is fix some of the rules that we think need to be changed and go through the process to get them changed. And that's what we're doing, but we have to do it carefully. And we also have to do it with the blessing of the state of New Jersey. And the state of New Jersey is, as Mr. Castellano and I have sat through a few meetings, they listen and they nod their head. But they're the ones that did all this. They're the ones that put restrictions on us and made us the highest growth zone in the state of New Jersey. This was done by the state. So what we have to do is find our way to navigate through it and to navigate it legally and try to protect as much of this town. We all live here. Every single person up here lives here. We're affected by what happens here. So, you know, it's important to all of us. Hey, my kids went through the schools. Do you want to do hindsight assignment? We're not doing that now. We already answered that question. So that's where we are here. So, Pete, Mark, unless you have something different to add to that?
Mayor, this is a project that's been in the works for the last 5-6 years. It was a project that was presented to the governing body that, in order to learn more about it, sent it to the planning board for them to conduct a study to see whether or not it qualifies as an area in need of redevelopment. They were able to show factually that this property, albeit was zoned as commercial, that for more than 10 years, and for that matter forever, has never been developed as a commercial property. When a developer came along who had an interest in the property, said, I have a project that I'd like to do that involved some property that was zoned as commercial and some property on the other side of Spruce that was zoned for RG5 residential, made a proposal and said, this is what I'd like to do here. It went through public hearings before the planning board. The planning board considered comments from the public, considered studies that were produced, testimony that was offered by our professionals as well as their professionals. The planning board, which are not elected officials, they're in fact your citizens, decided to determine if this area was in need of redevelopment, like the compromise that was offered to basically compel the developer to build commercial properties in places that commercial is appropriate along the Black Horse Pike, adjacent to other commercial properties. So to spur economic development as a way of offsetting the residential, the impact caused by residential properties, approved it as a land in redevelopment, in need of redevelopment. Additional hearings were held. Matters were brought to the governing body, and I'm talking about over the past 5 years, that included whether or not a redevelopment plan should be adopted. The redevelopment plan had input from the planning board, and input from the governing body, input from your professionals, as well as the public, and a redevelopment plan was approved. So at this juncture, there's an administrative action that is required, and that is if you have a developer that is qualified, experienced, vetted as being economically able to complete such a project, and we went through that due diligence. The developer that's here before you, Lee Development, is in fact has a proven track record of completing projects. And so at this juncture, it's the statutory obligation of the governing body to enter into a developer's agreement. The repercussions of not entering into a redevelopment agreement at this juncture, after all this time, I suppose will result in a lawsuit by the developer who has obviously invested time, money, and now it's a matter of the township following through with an agreement that has been extensively negotiated, keeping the best interests of the township residents in mind, and present that to you tonight for adoption. As I indicated, if it's not approved, and I was the attorney for the developer, I'd have a couple of things I want to talk to him about that I think would make it a slam dunk for him to compel the township to follow through on its obligations. So I think that the point of you can only, you don't have a crystal ball 5 years ago when this seemed like a terrific project and there was no development going on and it was in the middle of COVID, that it was something that was a development that was worthwhile pursuing. To look back 5 years later to classes that say, oh no, we don't want it now, I don't think is how proper planning is to be performed.
let's
Well-
move this. Can I have a motion?
I just believe that, and I'm not trying to criticize or look backward. I'm just trying to work with you and moving forward. And I'm more concerned with our residents than a developer. I don't think anyone wants 225 more homes. So I would just ask that we work with our professionals and try to undo this. And that's, I'll leave it there. I think we can. I'll just leave it there. That's my view.
I will say that since this,
Hold up a minute. I don't want to say anything, but I'm a realist. People depend on me. People trust me. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. The real world is what's happening. It's not going to happen. You know, we already made agreements, and I'm not going to fool residents and sugarcoat something that said there's a possibility. So I like to move on from this.
Well, let's
I
put it
don't
up for a
play with my
motion.
residents. They come first. I'm visible with them. I got their back in any and everything, and I know what's going on with this before we even got here. I was here. It's beyond our control, and it's going to happen. Don't fool people. We're not going to sugarcoat our residents. I know you got to.
I don't fool people. I'm for our residents.
All right, we're going to make a resolution. Can I have a motion for resolution 313 as amended?
I'll make a motion.
Thank you. Can I have a second? Second? Second. Roll call, please.
Castellano.
No.
Hudson.
For all the discussion that was provided to us by Mr. Friedman, this is not a brand new thing that we can stop abruptly without ratifications to this township. Now, for everybody in this room, I don't like the development either. I'll be public. I don't like the Pinelands either. I don't like the CAFRA either, because they push stuff on us from the 21 years I've been up here. So us to stop it now, expose ourselves to whatever court remedy there would be, is wrong. Okay? And here's the thing. Everybody's saying, where's the commercial development? Well, where is it? Nobody wants commercial development in this township. Is it in Galway? Yeah, Galway's getting a new shop right. That's about it. The property that's listed for commercial is not attractive anymore because people aren't building commercial things. They're online buying their stuff. They're not going to supermarkets and storefronts. So the thing is, this is too late for us to stop this thing. This is ridiculous. Okay? This guy's been working on it since COVID. And let me tell you, for everybody in this room, we were tortured by COVID, this township. And this is a problem just left over from COVID and everything else. And this is at least 5 years. Mr. Friedman said it was 5 or 6 years. He's been working on this for a while. Now, the thing is, could it be better commercial? Sure. Got it in, put stores here. There's stores open everywhere. We got a shopping center on the Black Cliffs Pike. It looks like hell. Okay? Nobody's coming here to want to build on that site. So I don't want putting more kids in the school. I'm the last one. And there's an article out there that child births are down, schools are lower. Okay? That's what's happening because of how this community is aging. Okay? Now, the thing that makes me positive with this is the storefronts out front will be commercial and there'll be condos in the back. And the key to that is it's owned by the people that live there, not rented out as apartments or anything else. So I vote for it. And Pete, I know you're trying. I can't wait to see the results, Pete. I hope I'm here to see the results with this Pineland, CAFRA, and everybody else who's pushed us around in this township. Just remember, we got 66 square miles. Figure it out when you drive down Ings Creek Avenue. Look at all that woods. Stand by. At some point, somebody's going to try to do something. But it's all commercial. I don't see any commercial development on Ings Creek Avenue. People's going to come in and say, hey, why can't we put residential in there at some point? I'll guarantee you that. Because some commercial isn't selling. So I'm a yes. I'm reluctant a yes, but on Mr. Freeman's advice, I'm a yes. And this has been around for 6 years. So I'm in it to stop the development. Tell me how we do it, Pete. And I want to see the Pinelands make concessions to help us. I'm waiting to see them. Okay, just remember, Brendan Byrne, Florio pushed this on us. Nobody else. Okay, they were Democratic governors at the Jimmy Carter's plan. Am I right? Okay. I'm a yes. I'm sorry.
Hiram.
So my vote is yes, but I don't agree with the project. I wasn't on the committee at the time, but I do honor the fiscal responsibilities that we have in the law. It's easy to say no when somebody else is paying for it, but my vote is yes.
I'd just like to say, now we have like knowledgeable people in the audience. We have knowledgeable people up here. Let's be prepared, and it's like you drop a cup of milk. You don't cry, you get another cup. That milk passed. Now we have people that's on top of this, who's knowledgeable gun lands and D lands and B lands and C land. So we won't have this problem again. So my vote's yes.
My vote is yes, but I also want you to know, if you look at the redeveloper agreement, you'll see that out of the 220 plus units, the commercial must be built when they hit 110 on the condos. So it must be built, the commercial. And that, as a taxpayer, I want to see. So I vote yes. So
They hold up if you don't get commercial people.
They might.
If Panera Bread doesn't come, or somebody that wants that site, they'll hold the project.
it sure will. So we have resolutions 314 through and including 351. Does anybody have any questions on any of those? If not, can I have a motion?
I'm gonna make a motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Ireland,
Yes.
Keller,
Yes.
Farmer.
Yes. There's so many, it was a short page. Okay. And I just want to make a note on Resolution 351. That is a resolution opposing any grant of clemency or reduction of sentence for Christopher Blank. Christopher Blank, if you don't know, shot two of our officers. One who is still working here today, the other one, she retired. She was in the hospital for quite a while. He shows no remorse, and he's tried for clemency in the past. We fully support any effort to stop clemency for this man. We're all sending a sign. It's a bipartisan letter. We're all signing it. We're putting it out as a resolution. And if you go online, it was circulated through online, and I would highly suggest that people from this town just contact the governor, really, primarily, because all this is going to the governor, because this man should never be out.
Just on that point, I was on committee. I visited Claire in the hospital. She was very fortunate to survive that gunshot from the plane. I was newly elected at the time. I'm retired law enforcement, and the girl was lucky to survive that. So there's no reason to let this guy out if the shooting two comes.
100%. Okay. Can I have a motion to adopt the consent calendar? Oh, I did it already. Oh, did we take the vote on that? Yeah, we did. Okay.
Still list.
Now we're going to the bill list. Let's pay our bills, folks. Resolution 352, resolution authorizing payment of all bills. Can I have a motion?
Motion.
Thank you. Have a second. Thank you. Pay our bills. Roll call, please.
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Ireland,
Yes.
Ellis, Farmer.
Yes. We've got some approvals. Can I have a motion to approve the July 15th, 2026 Township Committee Executive Closed Session Meeting Minutes pursuant to Resolution 309?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Can I have a motion to approve the July 15th Township Committee Minutes?
Motion. Second.
All in favor? Aye. Can I have a motion to approve the payroll for the month of July 2026 in the amount of $1,645,261.90?
Motion. Second.
Thank you. All in favor? Aye. Can I have a motion to approve the departmental reports for the month of July 2026?
Motion. Second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay. Anybody in the public like to address the governing body on anything else?
I know.
Mr. Coyle. Just please give your name and your residence.
I'm Charles Doyle from Delilah Oaks. When I told people I was coming here, I had a litany. I got whittled it down to 4. Number one, there's a house on our development on Tudor Avenue. I spoke to Dennis Sharp about it in the spring. It burned down over a year ago.
Okay, we have an update.
It's still boarded up, and it's an eyesore, and nobody's cutting the lawn, and there's trash, and somebody needs to address that.
Well, I know this. This is something that first should never have gone that far, but it got boarded up recently. Apparently, the sale, that property went through. The gentleman that had it was given X amount of time, which we should be getting close to the end of that, to take care of this. If not, we're going to do it and put a lien on the property.
Okay, thank you. my actual number one item, this is my wife's number one item. My number one item is the traffic light, your tacos al tortilla Fernwood in the Black Horse Pike. My neighbor timed it 7 seconds. So if you're 2 or 3 in line, you have to run a red light to get through. And people are running in the red lights constantly. And you've just installed the flock safety cameras at that intersection. So we're all on film running red lights. And we're a little nervous. Is there some way to extend the time of that light?
Yes.
I'll believe that one to you. That's a state light. This is all. This is not ours.
Yeah, I have to start at the beginning before I.
I'm going to give this to the engineer.
Hello, how are you?
Can we time it?
We can reach out to the state and discuss that and see what the timing is. I mean, I know they're doing work right now. They're paving at night on the Black Horse Pike. They're still finishing that intersection, so we can reach out, send an email, and copy administrator.
And the final thing is, I was asked to tell you all, please, no AI data centers in the HT. I'm sure you're all on board with.
Well, that's why the battery thing is up the ordinance. You know what they are. Okay, they're big units, container that hum all day. We went through it on English Creek Avenue, like electric for the Shires, right? And they had a legitimate point. It buzzes all night. So we got to be careful.
Which is what these AI data centers
I know.
do.
And they look like, you know what? They're steel containers. They're not going to be glamorous like New Jersey American Water makes it look like a house for their pumping station or something. We got to make sure we cover it because they're coming. They're coming.
All right, everybody. Thanks for what you do. Thank you.
Tell that little wife of yours hello.
Tell
Tell her she's more than welcome to come. Hi, Barbara McCoskey, Egg Harbor Township. Just really. What's your last name? McCoskey. McCoskey? Yes. We have a mutual friend, Karen, by the way. Okay, we'll talk. I'm just here to request and ask that this committee begin to hold meetings where people can actually attend. Most people are working at 5 o'clock. I'm retired now, but when I wasn't retired, it would have been very difficult for me to come to meetings at 5 o'clock. So it's a request that you consider a little more transparency. I know you have Zoom. I know you have things but people are busy, and it's sometimes difficult to do that also. But I think if you could make something that was more convenient for working people to be able to come and see what was going on, Mr. Hodgson, like 5 years ago, and when all these things were happening, that would be very helpful. Thank you.
I agree. We used to do it at 5:30, and I don't know why we moved up to 5. We'll look at it.
So previously, as you know, because you go to school board meetings at 7 o'clock, right? There's no one in the audience. So if we change the time, is it going to change anything?
Well,
because no one goes to the $250 million budget that often and consent that. So
I hear you. I definitely understand that, but at least it opens up and gives that opportunity for more people to be able to attend. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Rich.
So anyway,
still live here.
So in general, I think that we all realize that whatever commitments the city has made prior to now are going to happen. But the city still does have some power as to what way they happen. So I would suggest something like a resolution of a housing development be required to produce a certain amount of the electric that they will be using, i.e. as a solar farm or on roofs or something of that nature, and to put together a resolution to outlaw the clear cutting of residential property.
We do have that on the books. The trouble is when somebody does it, and they do it on a Saturday evening where nobody's around, they can't glue trees back together.
It's not a Saturday evening on Westcott Road.
Oh, you've got. Oh no, that was
so not a Saturday evening.
Oh, that was days, many days.
Yeah,
I'm going to tell you this, and this is we're going to be all 5 of us are going to be on the master plan. We're going to be having public meetings. Questions like this and statements and suggestions, every one of them are going to be written down, and we're going to present all the things, and we're going to put it together. And again, the state still has to approve it, but that's what this is perfect for. So when we have those meetings, we'll probably end up holding them. I don't know if we'll have them here or we'll have them at the community center, but they'll be coming up. What do you think, Tom? The end of the year or the beginning part of January and February, probably?
Yeah, probably.
And so we're going to have quite a few public meetings, and then we're going to be putting together a document from that. We're going to review that.
Okay.
So that's perfect.
Yeah, I won't bring a problem with the solution.
Good.
So
That's appreciated.
all right.
That's appreciated.
We're going to hold this.
One of the things as we move into a new master plan, we've got to make sure that agreements with developers moving forward have impact fees where they help us with
100%.
schools, first responders, roads, whatever it may be. And in addition, we've got to start setting aside more parcels of open space.
I agree with you.
Passive recreation, active recreation, parks, fields.
Well, let me tell you, I'm very proud of the recreation programs that we have.
Oh,
We have more
absolutely.
than
Let's
every
expand
town
them.
in Atlantic
Absolutely.
County. So we have to expand, but we have to be able to maintain at the same time. And that's something we have to keep an eye on. That's why places like the Nature Reserve are such a joke.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
on this topic, there's already ordinances on the book that impose an impact fee for recreation against all developers, including ones that are subject to the redevelopment agreements. That's a ordinance that the township is pretty unique in passing because we were challenged by the Builders League up to the appellate division, where they ultimately ruled in our favor that yes, we could impose that on developers. The other thing I'll say is after the two projects being Timber Ridge as well as Patcon Creek, the township saw the need to create a redevelopment committee that basically put the brakes on these developments that were coming faster and with more backing than we appreciated when they first came through the door. But now there's members that sit on it from the governing body, from the planning board, from some of your professionals, that since the formation of the redevelopment committee, probably, I don't know, 3 years ago, something along those lines, there have been no residential developments or applications for residential developments that have been approved.
The ones that were on the books prior
Yeah.
are a different story, but there's been nothing new. And they've asked.
Yeah.
They've
I
asked.
appreciate that. My point was just that our new master plan, we should set aside as much open space as we're able to for whatever purpose, whether it's passive, whether it's active, whether it's farm.
Just trees.
Or just trees, absolutely.
So, nope, it will. I think we're all going to get a huge list for this. Mrs. Bird.
Hi, Christy Bird. I was not prepared to speak, but I wanted to piggyback off of what our one neighbor said about the time of meetings. 5 o'clock is very inconvenient, and for working families, I don't think that it's apathy keeping people from coming. I think it's they're at, practice with their children. They're at the grocery store. They're doing things. 5 o'clock is not convenient for families that work. It's also not convenient for families that might be a stay-at-home parent because they're busy with the parenting part in this great community. Board meetings do start at 7 o'clock. You're correct. And while not every board meeting is packed, we do get a loyal group coming to our meetings. But we also have to remember, our meetings are live streamed, right? So we might not have a physical presence in the room, but we are definitely getting an online presence. People are definitely checking in, and then they are rewatching those videos. So yes, maybe it appears that changing the time wouldn't, matter. But I have a strong opinion that no one showed up 5 years ago when this was Timber Ridge was put on the agenda for all these things, because your meetings are at 5 o'clock and the agenda has the very minimum on it. School board, our agenda is pretty thick. People know what's going on.
It's not always the case. I have a hard time, pretty intelligent person. I have a hard time following your agenda. It's not very clear all the time. It doesn't get posted till last minute. So I think there's a little bit of a transparency issue. So this project too, I'm going to just go back to the timber. That started 5 years ago during COVID, seeking some commercial properties, but then we found out people don't want to invest here, I guess, which I think is a little crazy. I think it's a great community, and I think people would want to invest if they didn't have so much blight everywhere. But we get that project rolling. Great. It passes all the smell tests. We rechange the zone. Awesome. We tell the schools after we already get everything approved that we're going to have all of this building and all this impact on our schools. Sorry, you can't do anything about it because we already did everything. Just figure it out, right, after the fact. So I guess we can't do anything more about it. It's done, right? Fine. Moving forward from today, how many projects are like that? Or how many projects do you have right now in the works that is starting this process again? How many more developments do we have coming that in 5 years we're going to hear, well, we did it 5 years ago. No one showed up. We went through all the process. What do we have coming? Tell us now, because I'm going to come. And I think more people are going to come because we cannot sustain this. And I know you keep saying, I know, we feel it too. I get it. Blah, blah, blah. But instead of like just continuing it, can we start figuring out a way to stop it, slow it down, or build some sidewalks so that we can get these kids safely around the community that we're building all of these things? There's just so many issues that are like impacting our town negatively from these decisions. And I think that it's pretty obvious that most people don't want it except for the developers. So like, can we start, please, find a way to like work around this more? And I really want to know from today on, what's in the works? What do we have coming down the pike so that we can really pay attention more? Because obviously we have to show up more at 5 o'clock.
You're welcome to show up at any meeting you want. You're welcome to call our offices anytime you want. You can schedule appointments with all of us anytime you want. So you could, thank you. You can do that.
I appreciate it.
And you know this as well as I do, that people that own property have the right to use their property. We have put in a lot of safeguards for the township to slow things down, and we continue to do so. We are working, that's one thing next year on the master plan. Some of the things that were approved 10 years ago now need to be tweaked. 10 years ago, it was a very slowdown. I mean, probably 15 years ago, we were leading the nation in foreclosures. There was no building. So that's where we were then. And so times change. Every 5 to 10 years, things change. So what we have to do is constantly change with it and try to have a crystal ball to see what's coming. This, I don't think anybody post-COVID saw that the real estate prices would go up 40%. And I don't think they saw the fact that the interest rates stayed at a certain level, that people weren't moving out of their homes and the young families needed a place to go.
I appreciate all of that. 100%.
All of that is true, but you're saying this, but I'm telling you now, you are more than welcome when we do the redevelopment or the master plan, be there. And as many people that want to be there is great. And I'm going to tell you, bring a list. Bring a list. That's the best way to do this. Everybody here has got ideas, some great ideas. We all live here. So let's all work on this together. Legally, we have to work within the framework of the law, and that's where we go.
And with all due respect, I do think that we could have foreseen the boom. I do. Because the foreclosures happened because the casinos closed. But then the casinos rebound. And the investments in Atlantic City and Atlantic County became greater. And that boom helped our community. So it was foreseeable. And those foreclosures were bought by a lot of equity firms. That raised the cost of our housing. So it was foreseeable. It was. So it was foreseeable, and it's not a crystal ball thing. It's a leadership thing. And it's making sure the plan is in place for these challenges that come up, and you are prepared to deal with it, not in a way that you're racing away from the problem. You're prepared to deal with the problem as it comes, and that's what I'm
You are
saying.
more than welcome to come to any of our meetings and see how we are prepared.
And
what we
lastly,
do.
I just want to say,
So-
thank you. Lastly, I want to say, we are all neighbors. We are not Republicans. We are not Democrats. We are neighbors. So even when we disagree, we all want the same thing. We want a really great place to live. We want somewhere for our families to have a job. We don't want vacant properties. We want commercial growth. We all want the same thing. Playing the name games and, oh, well, it was this governor, so that's why we have this. It's such a waste of time. It's such a waste of
We're
time.
all
So let's
residents
just
of
be
Egg Harbor
neighbors
Township.
and
Let's
like
leave it
work
at that.
together. So I appreciate your time.
Do we record our meetings?
Every meeting's recorded.
It's recorded. It's posted somewhere.
Good morning. You too.
Okay.
You go right to our
And I'm just happy though that we did build in my residential area, because now I'm a resident of Egg Harbor Township, where I can have my kids going to the best schools here. So it's a benefit. And you got a great person. So that's all.
All right, can anybody else? Business justice.
Sorry about that. There's been so many really valid points that came forward. Specifically, we were talking about the developers, and you said that the person doing the ridge or timber ridge would be subjected to some kind of, insurance. What are we doing with the other builders?
Every builder that comes to propose any kind of development has to meet a certain criteria.
Such as?
Primarily a financial criteria. And a reputation.
Really?
And then
that's nice to know.
That's on redevelopment applications. If somebody owns a piece of property and it's zoned for residential development, and it can fit 100 houses, they could come forward, make an application, and be approved for 100 houses. It has nothing to do with what their background, whether they can complete it or not. But the township, for its protection, makes them put up a performance bond for guaranteeing that the infrastructure is going to be completed. There are times that in housing ups and downs that performance bonds weren't in place, and so you get these developments that are half built, and then the township is left with a half-built development, and that doesn't serve anybody's purposes. But the purpose of the performance bond is to make sure that if the developer goes belly up, or the market turns on them, and doesn't want to complete the project, at least the funds are in place to call the bond, make sure that the infrastructure is completed, being the utilities, being the curbing, the sidewalks, the roadway, making sure that's all in place and can be completed. The township has called performance bonds in the past. Fortunately, not many. We had to do that, but I'm not sure if that answers your question about making sure that the developer is qualified, because the bonding company is paying for it if he or she doesn't complete the project.
So the developer would be responsible in the event that potentially his development is going to impact someone else's property. Is that what I'm hearing?
Well, that has nothing to do with impact. It has to do with completing the project.
Only. What is in the works? That's what I want to know. I love that point. We need to know what's in the works, like way ahead, because this thing that I do.
There's, to the best of my knowledge, no residential redevelopment projects in the pipeline, and haven't been since the redevelopment committee was formed.
What about the timing? Because again, that was a very valid point. The timing, because we have to wait. I personally, I always just talk about me because I'm very selfish. But the bottom line is, my life depends on Friday mornings to figure out, is this thing going to be heard on Monday? And it's a lot to try to cram things in when I have responsibilities. I have a job. I have a dad. I have, house, the whole nine. So why can't we, could we, I'll throw that out there, could we shorten that time, or excuse me, lengthen the amount of time that the residents get notice? Like, couldn't we make it on Monday, the cutoff, or Tuesday at a very minimum?
Most of the timing is by statute. It's legally, it's coming down from the laws that are there. Developers, if it's all 30 days here, 45 days here. I don't want to say what they are because if I say I'm wrong, I don't want to do that. But it's most of the scheduling is due to timing. All of this is timing.
But I'm not speaking specifically about the developer's timing. I just mean the timing of, are we going to have certain things on agendas at meetings? Because I still don't know even right now whether or not the PB-016 is going to be heard next Monday or not.
This would be 10 days prior.
Yeah, but we don't get 10 days prior. We get 48 hours sometimes.
Agenda.
Yes. Right. I am. That's what, decides, like what was mentioned. It's hard to just take off in the middle sometimes of your workday, depending on when you start and what you're in the middle of, and make sure that you get here because you found out, like sometimes 2 to 3 days before a matter is going to be heard, that it will be heard that day. That's my point. I would like to see that discussed. And I like the idea of maybe just delaying this later in the day, but I also like the idea of maybe knowing everything that goes on, because I did hear in one of the meetings that I attended a couple weeks ago that there's this process, and it's probably, I'm going to give you the wrong order of the acronym, but it's like a technical review that happens for developers. And, I hear, well, it's non-binding and it's this and it's that, but if things are brought forward to the residents earlier, sooner rather than later, maybe, I personally feel like I have more of a say as a resident, or like I can't, because it appears to me like, well, we're going to see if maybe this is kind of possible or legit. And if the developer's getting that idea in his head, then he's going to go, full bore. And the developer, at least in my case, it appears to be very, very selfish, because he has gone from 60 some units to 84 units because he's got Pineland development credits or whatever that is. That's something I think we ought to take with the Pinelands too. Like you're baiting these people to just put houses like 10 feet apart. It's just not a way to live. I don't think, and people are paying $400 and up for houses like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it costs as much for a car loan nowadays as it used to cost for a mortgage payment. But anyway, I would like to get more, maybe contact points with the Pinelands, going back to the Pinelands, and I'll just wrap it with that. Because I've looked like at Mickey Sherrill's town hall meetings or something. I want to look her straight in the face and tell her, you're killing us. That's what I want to do. You made that recommendation. But how can we, all of us, start that up?
We put invitations out to her to come here and speak.
Could
to come to in her.
Would you?
100%.
Do that, please. Because she needs to hear this stuff.
She does.
She needs to see the look of our faces and see how dragged out, ragged out we are. What's going on here is literally, as I've said, it's killing animals. I mean, it kills so many animals. And to just tie this back to the TPR, I think my particular project would be best served if it was like an open space, as y'all have spoken of. So the animals had a track to go back and forth from the water to their feed and stuff like that. And there's a natural heritage program that would set that aside. They would buy that from the developer. The state of New Jersey would do that. It's under the land use, whatever department. And I see that as a very, very, very viable possibility of a solution, so we don't have all that traffic on West Jersey. I mean, it's absolutely god awful.
Just finding the planning board.
I'm coming to the planning board meeting, no matter where it's at, when it is. But I'd rather. Well, I know. Well, I'll be here for the building. Or for the meeting. I just always like to know if that particular Wednesday.
I'll be here tomorrow.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Thank you, Cindy.
All right. You already had. I'm counting 1, 2.
I don't know if it's possible or not, but
Fair passion. I'm sorry.
Still live here.
I don't know what you talk about or how long it takes, but maybe you could have your closed door section from 4 to 6 and then bring the public in at 6. Just spitballing and you didn't answer, just throwing it out.
Thank you. All right. Can I have a motion to close the public portion?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. All right. Township committee reports. Mr. Ireland.
All right. I get the lucky part to do it in the very beginning, so I can take everybody's glory. So the past couple of weeks, since our last meeting, I've been honored to be part of a couple of grand openings that we had in our township for businesses. So that was really good because we see businesses opening up and giving us money. National Night Out, which I know everybody's going to say, so I get to say it now. It was very well attended, and I loved how the Municipal Alliance moved it up an hour a little bit earlier and didn't do the fireworks so that we could get out, and everything was great. It was a great thing to see everybody out there shaking hands and having civil conversations. So it was awesome seeing the youth out there smiling. We were part of the flagship Spirit Halloween, where there's 4,000 people that came out to Egg Harbor Township. The first 2 people that were in line were from Canada, I believe, and then everybody else was California, Utah, Oregon. So when we talk about business, we're bringing these people in, and they're spending money at our local businesses. So that's been very good for us because a lot of them just had all hotels and stayed in frequent all of our restaurants that we have here. So I'm glad that we had that. And then we had the opportunity, myself, Mr. Castellano, and you, Mayor, to visit the 177 Fighter Wing. And I believe that we're going to have a resolution coming up for the F-35s to protect our freedom. So I believe that will be very beneficial to us. That's just a small little token for what they do for us. But that is all I have for the committee report.
Everything we're all going to
I know. Finally.
Mr. Castellano.
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, I agree with everything Patrick mentioned. Very, very nice event. So as you all know, we've been working this Pinelands issue very hard. We've met with all 3 of our legislators. We've also met with staff from the governor's office. On July 29th, we met with the executive director of the Pinelands Commission. Present was the mayor and myself, Mr. Dentino, and Senator Palestina. Assemblywoman Rowan had intended to be there, but had a last-minute emergency, but she is sending a letter to support our cause. I think I can say that it was a very positive meeting.
I think so.
We discussed the factors that we're dealing with now, the effect of overdevelopment that has been with us since Pineland started in 1980, the fact that we are now at an inflection point where we need relief. We talked about how the assumptions made back in time about how large there would be, how many casinos there would be, how large the demand for housing might be in this township are dated, need to be re-examined. And all of those points were agreed upon. And really the asks of us were to find a way to get the density requirements within our regional growth area down. And the 2 specific ways that we put on the table were first to make the growth zone slower, make the growth zone smaller by perhaps converting some of it into a rural development area, which is a different Pineland designation. In the regional growth area, the density requirement is, the base requirement is 3.5 units per acre. In a rural development area, and there are areas like that all around us in Hamilton and right up the street in Galloway, it's 1 unit per 3.2 acres or 0.3 units per acre. So imagine how much that would help us. So the combination of, can we take our base density down in some of the areas in this growth zone? Or can we take some areas out of the growth zone entirely? Would help us a lot. And the Pinelands Commission was receptive to working with us on those areas.
I got the premise that in regards to taking it out of certain areas, now they wanted to see it go somewhere else in the town. So if we took an area that's high growth, now they're going to want to send it out somewhere else. They didn't want to lower the numbers. They wanted to shift the growth size, the way I took it from that meeting.
Sounded to me like you were open to work,
They were open to work
us.
and to move some things around as well.
So what I think our next, certainly now the ball is in our court to make a proposal to them. So I think that's our next move is to let's huddle up with our professionals. Let's make a proposal back.
100%.
Because, we got a receptive response.
And they've done this back, I think it was 2017. They shifted a few of the areas then. I'd like to see them lower the numbers, but I'd like to see
there have been some numbers have been lowered over the years, but this would be the largest reduction if we could get them, to follow through on a couple of these points. Any one of those techniques in combination, just to lower the density.
Or slowing. Put it out over 50 to 100 as
slow
opposed
it down. So I think it's now up to us to go back to them with specific, detailed plan, knowing that they're receptive.
100%. I agree with you, 100%. It was a good meeting. I thought it was a very productive meeting. I did. Mr. Hudson.
Stole all my thunder. Spirit Halloween was a good event. It's been a number of years since they've had their corporate headquarters. When I was mayor, we had people from California in line, like you said, Canada. And to our police department, everybody participated. It was a safe, good event. Some communities don't have it as well as we did. We had a good event. And Night Out was another success. A lot of people participated, came out and saw who wanted to apply. I missed the fireworks, but maybe we can bring them back in another way. And Pete, along your lines with the Pinelands, there was minimum acreage in this township. It was gone. I bought it was a minimum of 2 acres on Asbury. You don't see that anymore. You see the quick frontage, they put a house in. I have 5 acres. That's why. Because subdivided 2 lots. I kept it the way it was. But we had minimal acreage. And the Pinelands, by force of the growth, took it away. So if you can get them to start with frontages, okay, without this 10-foot aside from houses and make a minimum of, I think it's 125 feet frontages, that'll stop these compacted developments because they'll need to go to frontages. Yep. But I'm looking forward to seeing they do that because they took it away from us. We had it before.
We invited her down here for a visit.
Well, I'm going to get her here. I'll rent the bus and take her around and show her what's been done.
Hey, okay. When we made the biggest breakthrough on the school funding is when we got then Senate Majority Leader Steve Sweeney. When we got him down here and we toured him around, that's when we started to make progress. And I want to do the same thing with.
We still have a ton of vacant land in this township. There's a ton, and someday somebody that owns is going to want to do something.
That's why we get on top of that and we convert some of that into the rural development area with much less density. Let's work.
Yeah.
All right, we will. Mr. Birthday Boy. Happy birthday.
I got family at home. I just got to give a shout out to Public Works, the police department, the recreation staff, all the volunteers, all the people who set up tents and different people who walked around and talked. I stayed out with Public Works till 10 o'clock that night just to, acknowledge the work that they were doing. I've never seen a field or event clean up, a crew clean up that fast. The event was people breaking out by 7, 8 o'clock, by 9 o'clock, 9:30, like no one was ever there. Unbelievable. This year, the police presence was not just a presence, but it was a presence with a purpose.
last year, I guess we learned from some mistakes by, not monitoring the crowds the right way. The police was unbelievable getting them out. And it was some characters there. It could have been really bad. And they did a great job. The recreational staff, I tease Cameron that he has doing the work. I saw him with a trailer, maybe 100-some seat chairs that he personally, him and his son, put in the trailer and took I guess, back to the wreck. But the police was unbelievable with their traffic. I mean, being visible, no incidents. People go, oh, they hit an incident, no incidents. And we had thousands and thousands of people. So, like I said, Public Works, unbelievable job. Police, always the best. Recreation, keep doing what you're doing. And I got to go.
Okay. On it. I have to echo everything everybody has said here tonight to the crew that took care of National Nights Out, the Municipal Alliance, the Police Department, Public Works, the Recreation Department, the fire company for being there. I saw more little pink fire hats going on around that whole place that night. They were having a ball. So I think we have 2 nights in this town that I think we shine. I think there's more than 2, but the 2 big ones are graduation and National Nights Out. And I think, bar none, they were 2 spectacular nights. In regards to the FAA wants to bring in the F-35s, which is the latest jets that are coming in. They want to be the base, and I'm probably going to say this incorrectly, but they want to bring it here to New Jersey. It's a competitive battle to be the location for that. So they are, by our location, it's an advantage because we can be in Boston in, 5 minutes?
Sure.
Yeah, so it's amazing how fast they can go and things that they can show and the opportunities we had to see F-16s and things like that. I know you were out there for years.
20 years.
So you know it all, but when you get to do this kind of stuff, you kind of geek out a little bit because it's amazing. So I just want to say thank you to the FAA, to Spencer Gifts, Spirit Halloween. And I also, on a closing note, I can't believe I'm saying that, Mr. Price, before you walk out. School goes back before our next meeting. The administrators. So I just want to wish all of our teachers and our staff before I can't believe summer's here. It's like over. I just want to wish them a very good school year. We'll wish the kids at the next meeting, but
that's great.
We have a great school system. We're very proud of it, and that's all I have to say.
We have a great school system. Everybody lives in that covered township because they love our schools.
They do.
So we need development.
So we need a house and place to work. On that
You just made
note, Tom, do you have anything? Mr. Hitchner?
Quick little blurb for you.
I'll try to say it in as few words as possible. We are going to, in reference to the gentleman who was speaking about the energy and creating energy, we are working on a community energy plan, which will be taking place over the next 6 months, and will get wrapped into 2027's master plan review. And I loved the winning attitude he brought to the table, and that's the type of thinking that I hope the community at large can bring, the type of energy we can bring to the community energy plan.
Pretty good.
Well done. Well done. That's it. Anything? Nothing?
I appreciate the governing body's passage of incorporating bringing the nature reserve under the leadership and stewardship of the Environmental Commission. I think it's a better fit than being under the Recreation Board. I've met with them. They seem very spirited and looking to get started on projects and activities there that are only going to improve the park, but at the same time keep it a passive playground for people to enjoy. So we will remain, my committee that I currently chair will remain a subcommittee of the Environmental Commission. So thank you for that adoption.
Here's the. I already know the answer. We have any for a close.
Present for Ray. Sorry, sir.
Yes,
I'll read it. You do. Resolution 353, authorizing Township Committee to convene in a closed executive session to discuss matters which may involve personnel and/or legal matters. Whereas the Open Public Meetings Act permits the exclusion of the public from a meeting in certain circumstances, and whereas this public body is of the opinion that such circumstances presently exist, and whereas Township Committee may need to enter into closed executive session at one or more times during this meeting to discuss matters permitted under law, including but not limited to the following. All legal matters, all with an anticipated disclosure of 1 year. Janice, I'll get you the list tomorrow. Let you keep up. Potential litigation collection efforts related to outstanding police reimbursement claims. An anticipated litigation involving requests under the Open Public Records Act. An anticipated litigation legal issues associated with the pending planning board application and redevelopment agreement for the Jetty Bar. Really limiting the list here, folks. I got a lot. Anticipated litigation and enforcement actions involving mercantile licensing and public health regulatory issues, all stemming from vaping enforcement, and an update on union negotiations. Whereas minutes of said closed executive sessions will be kept, and once the matter involving the confidentiality Once the matter involving the confidentiality of the above no longer requires that confidentiality, then the minutes shall be made available to the public in accordance with law. Now therefore be it resolved by the Township Committee of the Township of Egg Harbor, County of Atlantic, State of New Jersey, that the public be excluded from this meeting during such portions of the meeting as the governing body may deem necessary to discuss matters set forth above. And there will be no action needed or required after closed session.